Hello, great people. It don't happen, no. Days after bandits parade themselves on social media with arms and ammunition, say that they do peace talk with Nigerian government. You know what happened today? Court don't talk, say making Nnamdi Kanu enter into defense as regards the terrorism charges that was brought against him by the Nigerian government. And the court ruled that, well, Nnamdi Kanu, you have a case to answer, enter into defense. They dismiss his no case submission. Nigerians been think say, after the picture of those bandits, after their picture went viral, that shame go catch Nigerian government say, Oma our matter now you don't cast. Oh, as this picture go viral, so where we they wine and dine with bandits, where we say, the picture don't cast all over the world. This Nnamdi Kanu matter, even like say we go forgive this guy or find political solution. Now waiting people been think be that, but to the greatest surprise of Nigerians, rather than to forgive Nnamdi Kanu or to be soft in his approach, now in the government of Bola Tinubu tighten the rope where just so that Nnamdi Kanu will not be left off the hook. And another thing is as regards the health of Nnamdi Kanu, the court, rather than to say, oh, go and treat Nnamdi Kanu, go and give him whatever medical attention he needs, the court said no. NMA, the Nigerian Medical Association, the Oga Patapata, go and verify if Nnamdi Kanu is truly healthy or otherwise. In a country where bandits are parading themselves with arms and ammunition and they are walking freely, how justifiable is the trial of Nnamdi Kanu? On this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, I will be reviewing all these things and I will be giving you my humble submission and advice to the Nigerian government. We'll be doing that and more on this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug. Now, what I can say is that Nigerian government, I don't know how Nigerian government they doing things, in the sense that the way Nigerian government they operate, now only people in government, now if you understand, you will be their citizen. If you look and say, why you they operate this way, you don't even feel defend your country, say, because imagine that you are among foreigners and they are asking you that, why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention? But I saw pictures of bandits and, and terrorists parading arms everywhere. What will you say? What excuse will you want to give those foreigners that will make sense to them? And that is why I say that Nigerian government, now only people where they the government, now you understand the government. And I believe that government has the capacity to provide adequate health care for Nnamdi Kanu. And they say whether it is in DSS custody, whether it is to provide security for him to go to the hospital in Nigeria, or even whether to fly him abroad, Nigerian government have the capacity. But I don't know why Nigerian government just did wicked on this Nnamdi Kanu matter, because if you look at well, all people that have committed similar offense, the likes of Sunday Igboho, the bandits, the module assessment, they are not going through this kind of treatment. Let us look at the issue of the healthcare, for instance. When pressure was mounted, El Zazaki, you will recall the leader of Shiites in Nigeria, El Zazaki, the government allowed him to travel abroad. They appointed DSS operatives to make sure that he was flown abroad for medical treatment. If El Zazaki can be flown abroad, why can't Nnamdi Kanu also benefit from that if he is sick? Why can't he have that privilege? But in this case, you are not even giving him the privilege to access medical health facilities easily in Nigeria, not to now talk of flying him abroad. That is what? Double standard. And I think that Nigerian government needs to be very careful in this creation of double standard. What is good for El Zazaki in terms of medical attention is good for Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom that is good for Sunday Igboho is good for Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom that is good for the bandit, the peace talk that is good for them is also good for Nnamdi Kanu. You may not like what I'm saying, but then the truth is that if you support injustice, if there are people that have committed similar offense and they are walking free, and you think that Nnamdi Kanu is not entitled to walk free, then you need to check yourself, because when you create this kind of a thing, when power change hands, it may be your turn. You may just even do anything little and you'll be going down for it. And that is why it is good to be just. I'm not saying don't punish Nnamdi Kanu. Feel free to punish him. Do whatever you like with him. But people that have committed similar offenses, punish them as well. Let there be rule of law. Let there be equality before the law. You cannot punish Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot put him in detention, allowing him to languish in anguish. And you have people that have committed even worst offense. Imagine, bandits say that they call for peace talk, that they carry pump action, that they carry rifle, that they carry every arms and ammunition that, in fact, you go the one that say where these people get these arms and ammunition. So in that kind of a society, I think that we need to be fair and just to somebody like Nnamdi Kanu. You see, one thing I discover about Nigeria is this. Nigerian government, they have a pattern. They will always do as they desire. Any government in Nigeria will do as it desires, regardless of what people think. And I will explain that to you. You see, if government wants to do something and that thing is bad, and Nigerian government is determined to do that particular thing, no matter how people cry against it, they'll go ahead and do it. That's the way successive Nigerian government have been structured. No matter how bad people cry against it, they will still go ahead if that is their desire. And another thing is that if government does not want to do something, no matter how people demand for it, they will turn deaf ears, they will not do it. That is why I've said that Nigerian government usually operate in a world of its own without recourse to the citizen that they are governing over. In a democracy, government should have recourse to the citizen. They should be afraid of the citizen. But Nigeria's democracy, maybe because of the electoral violence, electoral rigging that is rampant, vote buying, that you can easily sway the mind of the people. That is why government usually operate at its wish without concern to the people. If Nigeria were to be practicing a true democracy where vote really count, some of these things will not be happening. And I will blame Igbo leaders. You see, I blame Igbo leaders in the sense that Igbo leaders, they are not making the release of Nnamdi Kanu a priority. See, one cannot cry more than the bereaved. If they are leaders in Igbo land and they are not making it a priority, they are not putting adequate pressure on Bola Tinubu, or one talk go this side, the other talk go that side. One they speak A, the other they speak W. Definitely the Tinubu government will size them up and look at it that these people are not serious. If Igbo leaders, if they are particular about the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they would have achieved it. And I'll give you an example. When Sunday Igboho was being, persecuted, or if you like, prosecuted by the Buhari government, you will see that Yoruba leaders, they were in unity that no, Buhari, you cannot do this to our son. Some Yoruba elders went as far as liaising with the government of Benin Republic that, well, they shouldn't mind the Buhari government. That is leadership. That is ethnic leadership. But in this instance, with profound respect to my Igbo people, the leadership on the ethnic front have failed, particularly as regards the leaders of Igbo land that are in the APC, the likes of Uzodinma, the likes of Dave Umahi. I won't bring Peter Obi into the picture at this point because he is of the opposition, and definitely Bola Ahmed Tinubu would apparently not listen to him. But how about those that are close to Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the moment? Bianca Ojukwu, what have you been doing as regards this thing? You see, detaining this guy in a country whereby people are committed similar or worst offenses, it has its implication, and I'll be coming to it in a moment. I won't be calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu if there's nobody that have committed similar or related offenses. If those bandits have not paraded their arms, I won't be calling for his release. But you cannot lock up a Kanu and there are bandits that are parading arms and ammunition, and those ones are walking free. No, that is not right. That is not just. That is not the rule of law. That is not equity before the law. And to now make it worse, where it saddens me is that you see Nnamdi Kanu, you don't want to release him, but some of these terrorists are everywhere untouched. They are operating untouched. They are meeting with community leaders, religious leaders, villagers. Some of them are even imposing taxes. I stand to be corrected. I have not seen Nnamdi Kanu impose taxes. So you can see what we are saying as regards government being fair. In fact, I stumbled on a picture, and I hope you can see it on your screen, which is that there was a peace talk that they were doing. It's a military guy, a fully kitted military guy that is videoing the peace talk. Imagine that army is there while they were allegedly doing the peace talk. Army no carry weapon. Now bandits, they carry weapon for where they do peace talk. Imagine what kind of peace talk is that. You cannot do a peace talk with a terrorist from the position of weakness. What Nigerian government is doing, that's from the position of weakness. You are supposed to first hit them hard, fast, and strong. They would have been weak, they would have been decimated. They will not be the one to be begging you for forgiveness. But in this case, they are living large, they have arms and ammunition. And you as a government, you are saying that you are doing peace talk. What kind of peace talk is that when you are not negotiating from the position of strength? So I found it a bit irritating when I saw the picture of the army guy videoing terrorists and bandits during peace talk. That is an insult to the Nigerian military, especially when those bandits that are there for the peace talk, when they are carrying sophisticated arms, they shouldn't be that emboldened. So if you can allow such a guy, what is wrong in having a political solution to the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. Another thing is the judiciary itself. The trial of Nnamdi Kanu has been, shockingly slow. What do I mean by that? The trial has lasted for years. The big question is, what if this man is found not guilty? Let us imagine that, okay, the trial goes back and forth. The trial has first gone to Supreme Court. Supreme Court gave a judgment and ordered that the High Court should go back and, start the trial again. That is what happens when government doesn't want to release somebody. We are all Nigerians. We know ourselves. If government does not want to release you, your trial will last, like almost forever. So everlasting trial, if I can use that word, is not the solution. The trial has been slow. So what if at the end of the day, Nnamdi Kanu is found not guilty? Who will pay for his time? Who will pay for his value? Who will pay for his skills that you have wasted over the years? In the sense that every day that Nnamdi Kanu spent in prison, it is one of the days of his productive life. He is spending his productive life in jail. And at the end of the day, if he's not found guilty, who will pay for these years of productive life that have been wasted? Who will pay for his value? Some of the things that he is supposed to have done, some of the things that he is supposed to have achieved as a free citizen, who will pay for them? Would he be given house, cars, and everything that, if he's not in detention, he would have achieved this? And that is why I don't find it funny that trial is lasting longer than usual. If you are to determine who wins an election in a state, in a country, if it can last for about 3 to 6 months, the whole adjudication about the election, whereby you need evidence, this and that and all that, imagine the trial of a single person now lasting for years in a country whereby political cases, at the election tribunal up to the Supreme Court, they last less than a year. Why can't Nnamdi Kanu enjoy such freedom, so that at the end of the day, if he's found guilty, you already know the time that he will spend in prison? Now, that is if the judge found him guilty. But what if he's not guilty? Who will pay for the time that he has been wasted? Who will pay for his skills? A skill that you are not using. You are just in detention. You are not using your skill. That skill definitely may eventually amount to a waste. Who will pay for it? So my call is on the Nigerian government, particularly President Bola Tinubu, to have mercy, if I can use that word respectfully, on Nnamdi Kanu. You see, Sheyi Tinubu met with Nnamdi Kanu's brother allegedly during the election. Where is Sheyi now? Now that his father is the president, can he come forward and fulfill his promise? I found it distasteful that in a country whereby bandits are working free, and that is the crux of my argument, where bandits are working freely, somebody is in jail, in prison, languishing in anguish for a similar offense. I find that very distasteful, and I hope for a change in the coming days. It's been an interesting time. Subscribe, turn on your notification button. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.